What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we have, what's your name?
Milo.
And what did you do this weekend?
I placed second at the Digiversal at ZJ's.
Awesome. And what deck do you have to share with us today?
Oko Green, as it goes by.
All right, I'll let you take charge. Show us what you got.
Yeah, so before I start, this is not my list. This is a Big N's list, as we call him around here. So he helped me with the cards in the list. And then also, we made one change post-tournament, and then we'll get into that when it comes up.
Oh, so you're just a freeloader.
Yeah, professional freeloader.
Cool.
All right, so for the eggs, we have 4 Minomon and 1 Motomon. The eggs are actually pretty inconsequential. So if I attack something, I get the additional 1K, which is relevant in matchups when I kind of want to not do the Oko immediately and just kind of grind it out. And then same with the Motomon. So the 1K helps in certain matchups, and it can make it so I hit up to certain numbers. So that's why they're played. But other than that, they're kind of whatever, since they usually get digibursted most of the time. And then to start off with the rookies, we have 4 copies of the reason why this deck is even playable, which is the 4 Palmon. And so what Palmon does is it has the inheritable of when it's trashed due to one of your Digiburst abilities, it gives the Digimon jamming. And I'll go in to furthermore later on to explain why this is so good. But basically, the reason why this card's really good is that one of the game mechanics in Digimon is when you give a Digimon a skill, it stays for the stack. So if you give something jamming and then you Digivolve on top of it, the card that you Digivolved on also gets jamming. Then we also got 3 Lalamons. So her ability, second best card. When she's trashed due to Digiburst, she goes to your hand just so you get a retained value. So you can also send out some rookies for a little pressure if you want, and just know that when you trash it, you'll get it back. And then finally, you play 7 2-drop vanilla rookies, since pretty standard. They're good for pressure. They can swing into security a lot of times with no issues. And there are also times late game, because even though the deck's called Oko Green, it doesn't one-hit KO. It can remove all the security stack in one go. So usually you have these as like easy follow-up plays to get in there. And then on to the level 4s. We play 12 level 4s. We play 8 copies of blockers. So we play 4 copies of the 1 Digilution blocker and 4 copies of the 2 Digilution blocker. And the reason we went for this is because generally your level 4 slots are pretty irrelevant, since you're usually always wanting to go up the chain faster. So when you want them out as blockers just for defense, because other than that, you really don't care, since oftentimes they're just getting Digibursted anyway. And then for our last 4, we play 2 Roachmon and 2 Vegemon. Similar things, the only difference is the power level and the hard play cost, and this is relevant against certain matchups, for sometimes matchups can get really easily of 3Ks easily, versus the 6Ks are a little harder.
The 6K dodges Alter S.
Yeah, so the 6K dodges Alter S, and like opposing Nidhoggmons kind of. So you just play it out depending on the matchup and know when to play it out. And oftentimes, usually you'll just put the Roachmon in the back and then immediately evolve a level 5, so it's not like it's really going out in the fray. And then on to the level 5s, where it starts getting more fun and interesting. We start with 3 Lilamon. Personally, my favorite card in the deck. So it has the main ability to Digiburst 2 to suspend one of my opponent's Digimon. So this is good if I'm going up the chain for like Nidhoggmon or something and I want to tap it down. Or it taps down the blocker before I go for game. And then it has the inheritable of on swing. If I control a tamer, I get to tap something down, which is also relevant in the late game. And then for the rest of the level 5s, we play the 4 Blossomon, and then the 1 of Limited Argamon. So they're basically the same exact card except for slightly different. So we both really use them for the Digisorption ability. So if you tap down one of your unsuspended Digimon, you get to evolve on it for free. An Argamon's the same thing, except the only difference is he has the inheritable of on swing, you get a Cheatin, a rookie tapped for free. So if Argamon's at 1, Angelmon should be at 1, but that's just my hot take. So yeah, that's kind of how we go with it. And it's really good because it's really easy to get up the chain, and that's really what you care about in this build, is getting to your level 6 as fast as possible. And then to show off the big boys, the level 6s. So we play 4 Grand Kawagamon, main boss monster of the deck. And he has the ability Digiburst 2, give one of your Digimon security attack +1, and this isn't a once per turn. So basically the way the combo works is you Digiburst twice. If one of those has a Palmon in it, you give it self-jamming. So then he becomes +2 security attack, so he's swinging for 3 and jamming. So he can't really die in the security stack unless you hit like a Gaia Force or something like that. Then we play 3 Nidhoggmon, the other boss monster we use if we want to like stabilize or keep the game in check. So this one's on Digivolve, you Digiburst 4, and then you tap down everything 5k or less, and then you bottom deck everything that's suspended. So a really good board wipe. It's really important in the Imperial Digimon matchup now that they have Beowulfmon out, since you can't really deal with that unless you play Nidhoggmon. And then finally for our level 7s, the reason why we can make it an Oko is the 3 Chaosmon. So Chaosmon gains Piercing, and then on Digivolve, he gets to untap itself and then attack something immediately. Even though the turn would normally end, you still get the attack off. And then it can attack unsuspended Digimon. So basically the way the combo works is, like I said previously, since every skill that you give to a Digimon stays on the stack. So when you activate Grand Kawagamon and you give itself +2 security and jamming, you'll swing for 3 with jamming. And then when you evolve a Chaosmon on top of it, it keeps the jamming and +2 security attack. So, and then since it has piercing, you'll just kill something and then remove the rest of the security stack. So you essentially leave your opponent in a situation where they usually get like 5 or 6 memory, but the caveat is they have no security left, and you still have a Chaosmon swinging in next turn. So the chance that they will recover from that is very slim. And then finally, to get into the tamers and option cards. So
The strongest cards of the deck.
strongest cards of the deck. So the post list change we made, we now play 3 Mimi. At the time, I only played 2 Mimi, and it was a Grand Kabuteramon, I think is the name of the level 5.
Yeah, from the starter deck.
Yeah, from the starter deck. It has the ability that it gains the inheritable of if this Digimon deletes an opponent's Digimon and survives, you trash the top of their security. Which I don't think it's a bad card per se, but the issue is that it just doesn't really fit for this kind of deck. So Mimi, really great. You hit her in security, she comes in for free. And then she's part of you start the turn of 3 memory cycle. And then you get the ability of, once you have a level 5 out, you can suspend her to basically get your hatch/move process twice.
And I heard this card is really essential in the yellow matchup.
Yeah, so this one's really essential in the yellow matchup. So basically for the yellow matchup, you either want to get the Oko combo off as fast as possible, or develop a Mimi, because then with the Mimi, you just keep putting more and more advantage before they can keep up. And it's especially important because when they have TK out and you don't have your tamer out, they memory cut you pretty hard. Since their plays, they'll always get their 3, which is really impactful. And then to top it off for the option cards, we have 2 Needle Spray, just a better flower cannon. Since in this deck, you really need to tap down blockers. So tapping down stuff that isn't blockers is just a worse card. And even though Flower Cannon has a better security ability, this one's still fine. You get to tap down one thing and add it to your hand. And in this meta, this is usually always plenty. To just tap, you save an attack, and you net a card. And then the last card is the other card that's limited for green, Hidden Potential Discovered. So what this one does, it essentially gives the next card you play, the like Digisorption 5. So this is super relevant. You can get it so that Nidhogg Mons are free. Chaos Mon becomes 1. So you basically get to continue your plays if you need to, and that enables you to get some Oko sometimes, or just gain a lot of advantage. So yeah, that's basically the summary of the deck. When I played in the tournament, I played a lot of blue, a lot of Imperial Digimon. And then I played against 1 purple, and then I played against yellow a couple times. The only thing I lost to was the same guy, Nick Crow, who's piloting Wargreymon yellow. Really strong deck, but after playing it, I don't think it's not an impossible matchup, since I did beat out another yellow Wargreymon in top 8, and I felt I played pretty confidently. So where this deck stands in the meta, I think it's pretty strong. I'd argue it's probably second best deck after yellow, because yellow's really strong right now. But yeah, we'll see how the meta develops and what other counterplay comes out.
All right. Well, thank you for sharing with us. And make sure you thumbs up the video and subscribe and look out for more TCG content.